Showers and storms a little bit wetter on your Sunday. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Katya Hall for WPSL 1590, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
At Seacoast Air Conditioning, they believe in 3 basic fundamentals. Answer the phone, show up on time, and fix the problem right the first time. Seacoast Air, family owned and operated since 1982, waiting to answer your call 24/7.
Comfort crisis, don't roast, call Seacoast.
Hi, this is Joanne from Nutrition World. Just letting all of my listeners know we have been diligent in sanitizing the store and using every precaution possible to keep our customers safe. Check out my online store at joannesnutritionworld.com. Really great deals and free shipping over $50. I am really hoping that all my listeners are taking time right now to get fresh air, to get exercise into their daily routine, keep hydrated, and get the proper amount of sleep. It's critical right now that attitude is everything. To please take time to laugh, to give yourself a break. You can find Nutrition World right on US 1 in Fort Pierce, across from Fort Pierce City Hall, in between Orange Avenue and Avenue A. Our phone number is 772-464-3598. Call me with any questions or concerns. All my best, Joanne.
Joanne's Nutrition World, now open from 11 to 3, Monday through Saturday. Call 464-3598.
Hey, it's Dr. Ravi at Tradition Family Chiropractic. We are dedicated to serving you and your family with integrity, compassion, and innovative care through the most advanced chiropractic care ever in chiropractic history, encouraging your health and your family's health to its maximum potential on a regular basis. Call us today at 772-345-0060 or schedule online at traditionhealth.com for your free consultation.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
Views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, we do encourage you to like and share them on Facebook. In fact, while you're visiting WPSLTV.com, our YouTube presence, be sure to subscribe, like, and share Joanne's World of Nutrition with Joanne Seeger.
Happy Thursday. I hope everyone's having a good morning. I'm definitely having a good morning, especially when I walk into the radio station and I see my favorite friend and chiropractor, Dr. Ravi. Good morning. For any newbie listeners, welcome to the show. The third Thursday of every month, I have the pleasure of having Dr. Ravi keep me company and put a nice doctorly touch on the show. I love it, you and your big words and all your scholastically knowledge.
Hope we don't confuse anyone today.
Yeah, everyone knows I really try to talk the level that I need to understand it with. All right, so today's topic, I'm so glad you chose this one because it's a big issue right now, sleeping. And so not only are we going to talk about sleeping today, we're going to talk about some of the glands that are inside our body. The endocrine system is a mystery to most people, including myself. What about you, Dr. Ravi?
It is.
Right? I mean, there are
it's
specialists that this is their specialty, and some people still, with this specialist, can't really figure out their mystery of their body.
Yeah.
The glands are crazy. I mean,
There's
from
so
head to toe, we got
that produce so many different other chemicals.
I know, and they're dependent on a million different things.
Yeah, especially sleep, which
impacts
so every area of our life.
Yeah, and again, to me, like when you're not sleeping, it's a symptom of other things, and unfortunately, most of us seem to just drug it to make it work, and that's another Band-Aid approach. Let's dose the alcohol, dose the drug, dose the something to get us sleeping, but we're not really trying to figure out why we're not sleeping.
Yeah, we're never getting to the real root cause of the issue.
Exactly. So today's show, we are definitely going to talk about some of the easier easy to apply, affordable options to really first look at these things for your maybe your endocrine imbalance or your sleep issues, and then hopefully you'll get some help. If not, you can see one of us and dive a little deeper.
Yeah. When it comes to sleep, like we were saying in the beginning, it impacts every area of our life, whether it's, our mental health, our energy levels, or even how we're, communicating with each individual. So, when it comes down to sleep, we want to make sure we're getting the proper sleep. And there's no actual blueprint for anyone when it comes to sleep.
Definitely not. We're all different.
We're all different. And what science shows is that each individual and adult should get anywhere between 7 to 9 hours of sleep. And if you're not getting that and you wake up feeling tired and never refreshed, this is the time we need to look at and realize that we need to look at our sleep and try to implement some of the things that Joanne and I are going to talk about today to get a better sleep schedule down packed.
Definitely. There was a study done in 2016 that showed only 1 in 6 people are having trouble sleeping. I am just going to take a guess and say now, 2020, with everything happening, it's probably more like 5 out of 6 are having sleep issues. They either can't fall asleep or they're waking up in the middle of the night, or just, the anxiety through sleeping, just a lot of issues right now.
And Joanne, I really feel for these kids, especially in my practice with taking care of a lot of the pediatric population. One of the things that's greatly impacting them is their sleep. They're not being able to unwind at night. So we're going to be sharing some great tips when it comes to kids and their sleep schedule as well.
Definitely, because I know firsthand when my children do not get enough sleep, just like myself, everything is disrupted. Their bowel movements, their attitude, their productivity, and also, too, I noticed that their cravings for unhealthy food escalates. So one of the causes of sleep issues, which we'll go into deeper soon, is refined carbohydrates and processed food and sugar. But when they're tired, and adults do this too, they constantly seek that sugar to get them through the day. So it's like this endless cycle. And one thing I want to emphasize, that it didn't take a couple nights to make you have insomnia issue, and it won't be a couple nights to get you out of it. So the things that we're going to discuss today is about bringing the body back into balance, giving the body the tools that it needs to be nurtured and realize what it was meant to be all along. And that takes time and patience. When you work with natural remedies and you work with chiropractic or any health practitioners, you have to really be patient, because these are not drug remedies where you take one pill and you're knocked out and then you're groggy the next morning, but you feel like you accomplished something because you weren't pacing the floor. These are natural remedies, so please be patient with your body. Illnesses don't occur overnight. Sometimes it's years for things to develop, even insomnia. A lot of my customers, I'm not sure about your patients, Dr. Ravi, but they analyze their last, 72 hours of their life of why they didn't sleep versus their last 10 years,
Yes.
So we really, and that's why I definitely want to address a lot of children's issues, because it can start, in childhood, that we develop these poor sleep patterns, and then it takes us into adulthood, and then we're lost,
Yeah. And so to get down to this, I'm going to be giving 7 great tips for better sleep, and we will dive into each one
awesome.
Individually.
Well, I'm sure everyone has their pen and paper ready. I hope so. So you want to do number 1?
Creating a bedtime ritual. That's huge.
So critical and so simple, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everyone, there's apps on phones now. So what kind of bedtime ritual do you recommend?
So keeping it systematic and keeping it the same. Our body is innately designed and loves to have and goes through well with repetition. So making sure that you're getting around in bed around the same time every day. And trying to fall asleep and get up within 30 minutes, even on weekends. This is huge for kids as well. I don't know if you want to talk about kids and their sleep.
Definitely. I find that this is critical, and the most difficult thing, especially since COVID and homeschooling, now that a lot of kids do not have to wake up early for their school, they're kind of taking that luxury like it's summer all year long, later nights, TV, movies, and I definitely am trying so hard, and it's so difficult to get them on the routine, like you mentioned too, weekends as well. So, because the body depends on that routine. Now, for the kids, you mentioned like 7 to 10 hours sleep. Most of the children, at least in my household, need about 10 hours. So you can definitely, I always say, around 9 o'clock. I used to make it 8 o'clock, but it almost seems impossible now, especially when it's not too dark out yet, because the gland, one thing it needs is darkness to really settle the body. So I always put them up, around 9 o'clock. And then give them wind down time. Most of the time, children today are dependent on music or some type of white noise, and I'm okay with that because I use white noise as well. But one thing that my husband brought to my attention is there a white noise machine. So if your kids say, "Oh, I have to have my technology in bed with me," you can purchase a white noise machine instead, so that way they're not tempted to, read one of their social media messages or go on YouTube. So those white noise machines online are very inexpensive, under $20. You can put those in the bedroom, tell them either we have a device that shuts the internet off for each device, so you can look into those, or just, if you can take the device away, and then give them 1 hour to settle down and settle their nerves. Now, there are kids out there that just conk out, and then there are others that need that wind down time. But white noise and no devices 1 hour before, to me, is an awesome idea. And make sure you're planning that they can have at least 8 hours for a child, if not up to 10, and then wake them up the same time every morning, even like you said, Dr. Ravi, on the weekends. Really critical. And then, storytelling. I've gotten away from it. I keep saying I'm going to get back into it. But even my adult children, my son, he loves the story. So, sitting down in bed with them, giving them cuddles and kisses, no matter what the age, and giving them a little story time. A positive story.
Yeah, make sure it's happy story so
happy
they don't have
story.
nightmares.
Yeah. The kids are telling Halloween stories, and I wonder why they wake up with bags under their eyes, So, positive, happy things, So that's my tip for at least a routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next tip here is being mindful about what hijacks sleep. So being aware of, what type of stories, once again, we're telling kids, whether we're consuming alcohol, even right before sleep, like a glass of wine.
I swear I don't give
caffeine.
that to my children. We are talking about adults now. Right?
Yeah, talking about adults.
Okay.
Caffeine as well. And even sugar, because, with the COVID things going on right now, kids are off their cycle of their sleep, and like we're talking about, they're eating different types of foods. So being aware of their sugar intake while we're us adults looking at our caffeine intake, looking at our alcohol consumption, because a lot of these things can definitely impede our sleep cycle. And so big thing here is making sure you're staying away from caffeine. At least if if your bedtime's 10 o'clock, making sure you're not consuming any caffeine after 6, 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I do 3 o'clock. And one of the big studies show that melatonin, which we'll definitely go into details, melatonin, one of our sleep regulators, the one that's the most famous around the world, it gets depleted with caffeine, tobacco, sugar, blue light from technology. So I look at it like every teen and sometimes preteens are doing all these things, so it's very scary. I was just telling my brother-in-law this morning that most of the time we should not consider giving melatonin to children because they don't need it until their 30s, and sometimes only if they have disrupted sleep patterns from a job or traveling. But now, a lot of these kids are doing these things. I see, 11-year-olds holding Red Bulls and energy drinks going to the bus stop. So yes, so if a child is not doing the normal, healthy childhood lifestyle and they're drinking caffeine at a young age, or they're getting those terrible vape things or Juul things that have the nicotine in them, yes, their melatonin will deplete. So there's always a reason for the insomnia. But, melatonin gummies and all this junk that's just out there is not the answer. You avoid the thing that's creating the insomnia. You don't Band-Aid it. But I wanted to mention one other thing, Dr. Ravi. A lot of the studies, it's not just the stimulant of caffeine after 3 or 4 o'clock. It's actually just carbohydrates.
Processed.
Yeah, even because a lot of kids are eating cereal or very refined flour products, processed grain late in the day. I hear this all the time, that they'll have dinner and then, their dessert could be the parents are trying to be healthier. All right, don't have that ice cream or don't have that pie. Just have a bowl of cereal, have some oatmeal or have a bagel. That's the same thing. Processed carbohydrates turn into sugar in seconds. So that's going to stimulate the pancreas, stimulate the brain. It's going to think it's ready for another day.
Yeah.
And so if you can, after 3 o'clock, not only eliminating, the obvious things, caffeine, alcohol, but even processed carbohydrates.
Yeah.
So
going back to, it takes us into our number 4 tip here, creating an electronic curfew, because with these, cell phones, the iPads.
For adults too.
Exactly, yes. It affects our third eye.
Yes.
You know what the third eye is?
Yes, of course I do. It starts with a P.
Pineal gland.
I get a tongue twisted on that
pineal
word.
gland.
I just called it the P gland.
Yeah, which actually is the one that is the main one that produces our melatonin production. And so when we have these devices in front of us in our beds, it's not allowing us to once again secrete this our innate natural ability to secrete this melatonin. And so, we now become reactive. We go to the pharmacy down the road, and we pull up and we get out of the car and we go in, tell them what's going on, the pharmacist, and they recommend melatonin.
Yep. Yeah, because it's in other words, just because it's natural doesn't mean you're not being drugged.
Exactly. And
yeah. And you throw your body off, it doesn't know what's going on. It's wait, I just want darkness. I just want a quiet room. I just want a nice pattern. I just don't want to be overstimulated. And a lot of times, I won't name names, but the person that sleeps next to me in bed at night, might have this iPad glued to his face right before he knocks out. And sometimes it might be things that you don't want to put into your brain right before you go to sleep. So I hope you're listening, mister. Yeah.
And to this mister, I hope this mister has a blue light filtered
Yes,
glasses.
Of course he does.
Great.
Yes.
Great. Now, not only is that, if he's protecting himself, if you're not wearing those blue light glasses in your sleep, it's actually still, those rays are still transferring right over to yourself.
Definitely, and I see it with all the kids, and we're definitely guilty in our household, just glued to devices they're these life-altering, they are life-altering, but just, they hang on for dear life. And and it is, and I definitely, when I hear of parents that, cut it off early, I literally bow down to them, because it's hard, to entertain children sometimes. At least I find it difficult when you're trying to clean the kitchen or do other things as an adult. So any parents that have great tips for how they keep their kids off devices and entertain, you're welcome to call in 340-1590. I'm so open-minded, no issues. Keep them stress-free, happy, healthy, and off devices.
Joanne, while we're talking about this melatonin with the pineal gland, one big thing when it comes to minimizing our toxicity component is fluoride. What we find is that the fluoride that we're inundated with today through our water system, our toothpaste, our mouthwashes, what this does, it actually causes the pineal gland to become calcified, and it doesn't allow us to produce our melatonin. So
Wow, you're bringing up a topic that I had a huge impact 30 years about. 30 years we petitioned, when I lived in Boca Raton, Florida, we petitioned to get fluoride out of the water for this exact reason. It's funny how you go on different journeys of health. But yes, that's a huge issue. And sometimes, we did a little, like there is less fluoride in certain part of our water systems, but people are still getting fluoride treatments. There's still fluoride toothpaste, even though there's so many clinical studies showing how dangerous it is. So I always tell people, if you want to go my way, I don't ever choose the fluoride treatments, and I definitely use fluoride-free water and definitely fluoride-free toothpaste. So you're right. I actually forgot about that one, and that was huge in my life 30 years ago.
Yeah. So a good way, you know what? I have a challenge for the guests that are listening.
Oh, okay.
If they're relying on melatonin, is just getting on like a melatonin detox. Not taking the melatonin anymore, but now implementing newer things that they can do and being more proactive for their natural melatonin production.
Oh, I like that challenge. So listeners, this is a great idea. Let your body do its job. Take melatonin out. And even if it's a simple gummy you're giving your kid, it's the gummies, again, they look so innocent because they're masked in like a candy-like substance. But melatonin is a very, very serious nutrient. Just think of it like a hormone. Okay, that the body likes to balance all by itself through healthy forms of exercise and diet and drinking enough water. So again, give yourself a melatonin detox.
Going back with the melatonin detox, which takes us into our next tip here, is getting exercise in regularly, whether that's like 30 minutes before you go to sleep. Research has shown that physical movement can actually help you sleep better, and it helps you feel more tired around that bedtime. So it helps you fall asleep faster. So you no longer rely on that melatonin that can create another cascade of issues down the road. But also the white noise machine that you had mentioned in the beginning, eliminating processed sugars or even carbs. One big thing I like to tell my patients with the nutrition is you want to choose food by God and not food by man. So anything in boxes, you want to stay away from, and things that are more in whole form, like strawberries, berries, apples. These types of things are going to help you decrease your sugar intake.
I always have the joke, if you could put it in the pantry and you don't worry about the bugs eating it, then don't eat it. You don't need it.
Yes.
Definitely stay away from those pantry items. 99% they're refined.
So, Joanne, I have a question for you.
Sure.
In the supplement industry, if, they're trying this melatonin detox for a week, 2 weeks, and they're still relying on some kind of form, is there anything that you recommend that is more natural? Yeah. So, again, you give the body what it needs, the tools to make the things naturally. So, two of my absolute favorites are 5-HTP and L-theanine. So those two, and I've noticed my brother-in-law showed me just earlier this morning, there's a gummy being sold with L-theanine and melatonin. So they're using the catchwords, the buzzwords to get your attention like they always do. But L-theanine is very reasonably priced. You can open up a capsule for a younger child. Same thing with 5-HTP, or if they can swallow a pill. These two, like 5-HTP, basically turns in to it's the cortisol, help me here with the big, so dopamine, it does dopamine release, serotonin, thank you. I always dopamine, serotonin, I always get confused. So it's basically working with your natural brain chemicals to put you into homeostasis balance. So whether you're in your wake cycle or your sleep cycle, it helps you regulate. So even if you're falling asleep in the middle of the day when you're not supposed to be, 5-HTP and L-theanine can help you with that too, to help you develop healthy, normal sleep
patterns. So you're not sleeping during the day, but wired at night pacing. So it's great for children that have overactive minds. I usually suggest L-theanine for anyone that has their brain racing and they just can't stop with their to-do list. When they're coming to bed, they're just like, oh, what I didn't get done, what I have to get done, and oh my gosh, or their guilt of the day or what mistakes they made, they're revisiting them over and over. L-theanine, I love it. It's just like turning that station of the brain to something calm and relaxing and forgiving. I just love L-theanine for that.
There's actually a research done in a sleep journal, can't remember what, but for supplement use with L-theanine, and it actually helps to create more smoother sleep waves.
Yes,
so
that's a great way to
more
smoother.
Relaxation.
I like that.
Going back to the 5-HTP, I really love that type of that angle that we're taking because with serotonin, that also helps to lower the risk of mood disorders. So we know when we're not sleeping, we wake up groggy and we wake up, not relaxed. And so we get mad, or we're looking for basically lack of communication. And so this helps to increase better attitude and decrease mood disorders.
And who needs a better attitude right now? I don't know anyone. Well, that's a perfect time to go on a break. So everyone, take some deep breaths. I just realized we missed the morning breathing routine. So keep breathing, stay relaxed, and we will be right back. Hi, this is Joanne from Nutrition World. Just letting all of my listeners know we have been diligent in sanitizing the store and using every precaution possible to keep our customers safe. Check out my online store at joannesnutritionworld.com. Really great deals and free shipping over $50. I am really hoping that all my listeners are taking time right now to get fresh air, to get exercise into their daily routine, keep hydrated, and get the proper amount of sleep. It's critical right now that attitude is everything. To please take time to laugh, to give yourself a break. You can find Nutrition World right on US 1 in Fort Pierce, across from Fort Pierce City Hall, in between Orange Avenue and Avenue A. Our phone number is 772-464-3598. Call me with any questions or concerns. All my best, Joanne.
Joanne's Nutrition World, now open from 11 to 3, Monday through Saturday. Call 464-3598.
Hey, it's Dr. Ravi at Tradition Family Chiropractic. We are dedicated to serving you and your family with integrity, compassion, and innovative care through the most advanced chiropractic care ever in chiropractic history, encouraging your health and your family's health to its maximum potential on a regular basis. Call us today at 772-345-0060 or schedule online at traditionhealth.com for your free consultation.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
We now return you to Joanne's World of Nutrition. Once again, here's Joanne Seeger.
Hey everyone, happy Thursday once again. Thank you for spending some time with us this morning. It is the third Thursday of the month, so I am grateful to have Dr. Ravi, my
Good morning.
chiropractor, with me. We are talking about the endocrine system, we're talking about sleeping, and we're talking about some supplements that can help us out, as well as some healthy lifestyle changes to get our bodies to do what they were intended to do all by themselves. So we talked about keeping children and adults, okay? So remember, we're just big kids. No matter how old we are the same body, just getting bigger. So we have to nurture and love ourselves just like we did when we were a child. So keeping sleep patterns, possibly using white noise machines instead of electronics, staying, waking up even on weekends, the same routine, using 5-HTP and L-theanine. And again, watching out for like the candy-like substances, especially for children or adults. I know it's tasty and I know it's more fun than some of the pills that are all, boring to swallow. But when you stimulate your tongue in Chinese medicine, remember that goes back thousands of years, or traditional Ayurveda medicine, thousands of years. The mouth, the tongue, it represents the whole body. So if you put something sweet right before your head's supposed to hit the pillow, it's going to be like, oh, what's going to happen now? Like, wow, we got a meal coming. We got sweets coming. So just be a little careful of that, okay?
And then eliminating or minimizing the use of electronics.
Yes.
In the bed.
As much as possible,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, one tip we gave, I think it was our show a couple months back, is to put on airplane mode, or turn it off completely. Or, if you want to leave it, some families have a family basket, after 7 p.m., boom, your electronics go in that basket and then you head to your rooms. So whatever works for your life, but we are stressing there are so many studies showing that electronics have no healthy place in the bedroom, okay? So keep that in mind.
Now, moving forward with the next tip here is considering napping. And so who doesn't love a good mid-afternoon snooze?
Well, my customers might be upset if they walk in and I'm snoring. But
Joanne,
okay.
It can only be 20 minutes. Only 20 minutes. You don't want to take anything longer than that.
Okay.
Research has shown that it actually helps to improve work quality and also, once again, mood. So just be mindful that you don't go into a poor sleep cycle where you're over napping or you're sleeping that nap. 20-minute nap turns into an hour long where now you can't sleep at night.
Right.
So be very mindful about that.
Yeah, I think too, like some people might consider doing Qigong. I know Dr. Stuart Shipe, who's always on after my show, he used to teach free Qigong at his practice. Qigong is like moving meditation, so it can just quiet the mind, encourage better breath exercises, or just some yoga meditation. And Dr. Ravi, you mentioned the pineal gland earlier as a third eye.
Yes.
One thing I learned when I was becoming a yoga teacher is if you do child's pose, which everyone can do, it stimulates that third eye, helps the pineal gland. And also drinking apple cider vinegar and turmeric also, because you were telling me during break, I want you to tell my listeners about the whole walnut thing.
Yeah, so the pineal gland, the size of where it actually holds is the size of it should be the walnut size.
Okay.
In fact, today it's the size of a pea.
That's so scary.
It is.
That a walnut to a pea, and this is
it's shrinking.
A critical gland.
Yes.
Yes.
So when it shrinks, what happens is that your body's not producing this chemical melatonin as it should. So being aware of the things that hijack our body from naturally producing these melatonin will definitely help.
And I know one of the other hijackers, that I forgot to bring up too, is BPA. Now, BPA, a lot of people are coming into contact with these three letters because when they go to buy their water bottle or their plastic dishes, they'll see now BPA free. So we have, in the last 10 years, we have come a long way trying to take that one particular chemical out. But these are called hormone disruptors or endocrine disruptors. But the problem is that's only one of the major chemicals found in plastic. So studies cost a lot of money. And so sometimes we just pick one thing and we put all our effort into banning that one thing, the BPA. But there are many chemicals in plastics that are endocrine hormone disruptors. So please be very, very careful. Always choose glass or ceramic when you can. And never, ever, ever cook in plastic. I don't care what the packaging says. Please just throw it into another dish. We use at home those dishes that's supposedly unbreakable. Just use it another dish. A lot of microwavable things now are coming in paper, and those have some issues too because they're coated, and definitely anything that's going in the microwave has issues. There's so many different issues, but I realize I am realistic. We do use the microwave for the convenience of meals, especially in families now, but try to limit your exposure to endocrine disruptors because like you just said, Dr. Ravi, a walnut to a pea size, that is changing human chemistry. Like this is dangerous.
It is.
Yeah, and sleeping, we don't want to take sleeping out of human existence.
Oh my goodness. Can you imagine if we do, what would happen?
Oh God, we would have so many cranky people running around. Well, we already do. So it would be like just like The Walking Dead, but they won't be eating flesh, right? Yeah.
So, Joanne, I get a lot of questions from patients asking about proper sleeping position. So I just want to take a few minutes to talk about this.
Well, that's definitely your specialty.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Actually, the best sleeping position is laying on the back and sleeping with a pillow underneath the knees and
that's
flat,
fine.
like a 2-inch pillow under your head. What happens is I do see a lot of patients that are stomach sleepers, and they have a lot of these aches and pains that they come in with. So if, you're waking up in the morning and you have these aches and pains, look at how you're sleeping. If you're sleeping on your stomach, it requires you to turn your head in a direction, and you're in that position if you're sleeping the 7 to 9 hours in that position for that long. And that can create strains, micro strains to the cervical muscles, the neck muscles. And this creates subluxations, the misalignment in the spine. And so what I do is remove those interferences, but also addressing these lifestyle changes as well to make sure these subluxations don't reoccur over time. And in the science that we are taught in school, this endocrine system that many medical doctors are taught today, we actually call that the neuroendocrine system. And so once again, when you have these subluxations, the misalignment of the spine, it impedes the neuroendocrine system from functioning well. So it cuts off the flow from the brain to the organ, whether it's the adrenal glands that sit right above the kidneys or even to the pancreas. And so making sure you're sleeping in a flat plane is by far the best position.
So like, do you mean when you say put a pillow under your knees, like the kind that are on massage tables, like those
it could be a round one or just a standard fluffy pillow, just to create an angle so
just
your
to
back
elevate
is relaxed.
your knees a little?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. The second best position is side sleeping.
Yay, finally. Okay.
When you're side sleeping, you want to make sure you have a body pillow, or a large enough pillow for your neck where it meets with your shoulder and your head is still vertical with the rest of your body, and it's not creating a kink in the neck. While you're in the sleeping position, you want to make sure that pillow is also in between the knees. So everything is not kinked together, creating these micro traumas in the spine. And remember, this is the time your body's resting, and not only resting, but repairing as well. In this neuroendocrine system, we have this another system called the lymphatic system, which when we're sleeping, it helps to take out toxins. So
which sounds really important.
Really, really important. And it's another, subsidiary system of your neuroendocrine system with your lymphatic system.
Okay.
And so those are some
Well, I get a question for
tips.
you. So I am a side sleeper, and I always put the pillow between my knees. And when I was pregnant, I definitely learned about what a body pillow is, especially the body contour pillow. And I had some of the best sleep of my life.
Nice.
And it's nice because if anyone is a side sleeper and their pillow between their legs keeps scooting out, the body contour pillows because you're holding them under your head too, it keeps it positioned between your knees without it slipping away.
Yes.
So that's what I love. But there is a new pillow in the market. I am curious if you've heard about this, where your arm can go under it. Have you seen that on the Facebook scrolls? It literally, I forgot to ask you about this, but now we're on this subject. There is a pillow being advertised for side sleepers that you put your arm, so it's like arched up a little so you can safely put your arm under. Do you think that would be good or bad to?
I haven't seen that, but if you're putting your arm up, what I can see an issue is compression of the nerves that go into the arm.
Okay.
So it can create numbness and tingling.
I'll try to take a picture of it next time it comes up on my feed. You know, I never dare touch any of those things, or else you're getting like 20,000 commercials after that. But yeah, it looked interesting. I know that those body contour pillows, a lot of people view them as like aesthetically for the bed, but they are awesome. They are.
Another thing is, if you're spending money on a pillow, one pillow that I would suggest, and that I personally like, I do not have shares in this company, is the
Thank you for the disclaimer.
Is the purple pillow.
I've never heard of it.
The purple pillow, it's very different from a Tempur-Pedic pillow. When you have a Tempur-Pedic pillow.
Is it actually purple?
It is.
Okay, that matches my bedroom, so it's allowed. Okay.
But you can get different cases for it.
Okay.
Yes. So with the difference between these two pillows, like a Tempur-Pedic pillow or a foam pillow, is that it takes time for your body to contour into this position. Whereas the purple pillow, it automatically forms right away. So it's designed specifically by engineers to, as soon as you lay down on it, it contours to your spine. So
Does it matter if you're a side sleeper or a back sleeper?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
When you go to the mattress store, whichever one you choose, or you check it out online, you can get different levels added to the pillow to if you're a side sleeper versus a back sleeper.
Okay.
So
well, I'm definitely going to look into that because
check that out.
I've had the
pillow.
same pillow for a long time now. I think it's time to get a new one.
Yes.
All right. So so side sleeping, back sleeping, try not to do that must be really hard though. If you've your whole life slept on your belly, I can't even imagine sleeping on my belly. But if they end up with all these problems, at least seeing you or your local chiropractor that you go to, it's important because if you're not communicating, your spine's not communicating to your brain. I mean, brain fog, lack of, oh my God,
leading
the issues.
to issues, 20, 30 years down the road with like COPD.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. So that, oh God,
And,
I have a COPD story for you later. Oh my gosh.
And these illnesses start to affect the organs. And so one major organ that helps with sleep is making sure your adrenal glands are functioning to its best potential. The adrenal glands serve as to help with your metabolism. It also helps to boost your immunity and also helps to protect your blood pressure.
The adrenals.
The
wow.
adrenals.
Do you know we could probably do 2 hours just on the adrenal glands? Adrenal glands are so underappreciated.
Yeah.
These tiny little organs sitting on top of the kidneys are just so underappreciated and overlooked, and just the only time people ever think about them is when someone says to them, oh, the caffeine's not affecting you anymore? You must have adrenal exhaustion. And they're like, what? But yeah, so the adrenal glands, they're so forgiving. They're so forgiving. So for anyone out there that you hear stories of someone that drinks 2 cups of coffee before they go to bed and it doesn't affect them, that's not necessarily a good thing.
No.
That means that their adrenal glands have been so overworked or abused that they're just like not functioning properly. So the adrenal glands, I always say, when you abuse them through a lot of processed sugar or caffeine, alcohol, it's basically like seeing the worst horrific car accident every 20 minutes in your day. You're just basically constantly stimulating, and then they don't know when
What
to be
to do.
stimulated.
Yeah.
So what are your chiropractic tips for the adrenal glands?
Definitely adjusting the mid portion of the spine. That's what I do for my patients as we sit straighter.
As I'm trying to sit straighter. Okay.
Because we know the nerves like right around that T7 area, the mid portion of the spine, greatly
like
impact,
where the bra strap is?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Greatly impact the adrenal glands. And so we're always in this fight or flight response. So this is your sympathetic nervous system. And so when we relax the system, it automatically has an impact to our adrenal glands and the chemicals they produce, such as cortisol. And so, relaxing things like we spoke about, making sure you're getting enough sleep. This is one of the health lifestyle things that you can do to protect your adrenal glands.
Okay.
And taking calm, relaxing teas like chamomile tea, even valerian root, those types of.
Well, I want to interject my favorite calming tea that we do every single night, even the children, is magnesium. We do the ionized magnesium citrate powder by the Calm brand.
Yes.
And it is wonderful. All the kids love it. It helps us relax, helps us wind down, get a better quality sleep. And for us adults out there not being able to move the bowels properly, it draws moisture into the colon. So it helps to have a healthy bowel movement without any laxative action. So, I mean, I sell tons of it, and I have for many, many years.
Yeah.
So.
Another hormone that the adrenal glands produce is the DHEA, which is important when it comes to sex hormones, estrogen, testosterone, growth hormones, and especially for women that are going through that menopause stage.
I wouldn't know anything about that. Go ahead.
Making sure, if you are adrenal fatigue or adrenal exhaustion, making sure that you're getting proper herbs to help support the body and the adrenal glands.
I have a formula for the adrenals, and two of the key ingredients is DHEA and pregnenolone. And it makes a significant difference. And like you said, for menopause or premenopause, like a lot of people don't realize that when females can go into menopause, it can be years of the pre, the during, the post. So these DHEA and pregnenolone for female, especially good for that. But men and you guys, when you go on DHEA, you do great. You have nice sustained energy, great libido. Most of my customers that go on DHA, the men, if they do 25 milligram, they report that they feel younger, they have more energy. If they are at the gym, they notice that they do much better. Their recovery time is better. So I would definitely, if you are suffering and feeling like you're getting a little older too fast, look into these hormones, DHEA, pregnenolone. They're safe, they're precursors, they work with the body and the hormone receptor sites not to overwhelm them. So a really good way to begin the adrenal gland recovery.
And this is a great step for a lot of the men that have low testosterone.
Exactly, yep.
A great first step to start implementing instead of relying on those injections that create another issue down the road.
It's same thing like we were saying about melatonin. If you force the end game, then all the steps leading up to it will get discombobulated and not know what the heck is going on. So
yeah, my last one that I like about the adrenal glands is the it produces adrenaline and noradrenaline, the fight or flight response.
Yep.
And the best way to help balance this is with the morning routine of practicing breathing.
Breathing.
Our breathing exercise that we missed.
I know. Yeah. It's so overlooked, right? So yes, breathing. I love it. Is there any particular time frame? Like I laugh because people spend money on these studies.
I know. Yeah. Just simple 2 to 3 minutes of doing the 5 second in, hold for 5 seconds, and 5 seconds out for 2 to 3 minutes. Definitely helps to calm the body.
Wow. Dr. Ravi, we've just been given the 3-minute warning. Can you believe it? Oh, no. Hold on. Oh, 3 hours,
3 hours
of
of breathing.
breathing. I was like, it can't be, Cliff. What are you talking about? Oh, well, it's 6 minutes.
Six
okay.
minutes.
All right. So, so breathing. And all right. So breathing. And also, too, I know you love essential oils as much as I do.
Yes.
So we cannot do a show on glands and sleeping without saying, please, everyone, ditch your chemical, synthetic, air fragrance
Yes, please
devices,
do.
your Renews-It, your fresheners, even right now your bleaches, your Clorox, your Lysols, all this toxic garbage, because your lungs are taking this in, and this is very dangerous, especially if it's in your bedroom. So you want to take that junk out and use natural essential oils. And frankincense oil, beautiful oil. It does so many amazing things, and it helps the hypothalamus, which is helping sleep. So you want to bring natural oils in, and you can rub them into your scalp. You can rub them into your head. How nice to have a nice scalp massage with natural essential oils.
Or even diffusing it right at your bedside.
Oh, yeah, we have.
Because research shows it
Yeah.
has a direct response on your limbic system, which goes right into that hypothalamus area.
Beautiful. So diffusers are so economical now. I have some at the store that I sell for convenience. So really put some nice essential oils into your life. They help you sleep. They help you feel better. And, just make your air smell nicer too.
Yeah.
So
My favorite mix every night is 200 milliliters
okay.
of water
All right.
and 5 drops of frankincense with 5 drops of lavender.
Perfect. Nice. And I always find too that I'm not a big lavender lover. I don't know why. It was just never my favorite, but I love sage. I like more medicinal smelling essential oils, So whatever is your favorite, it's definitely safer and more therapeutic. These oils can be medicine to you. So I would look into that. And I also want to mention as well CBD oil. CBD oil, so I've been selling it for over 3 years now. The stories I could tell you about post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, sleeping, pain, because we all know if we're in pain or we're anxious, sleep seems something that is never going to happen. So CBD oil is safe for children. It's not going to alter the hormonal system of the body. So definitely look into CBD oil. But again, remember, find out who the company is, how long they've been making it, how they make it, where they get their plants from. Don't just buy it because it has a great story or a great label or a great price. Find out if you're going to ingest something to fix something broken in your body, you don't want to buy it based on price or label. Okay? Dr. Ravi, tell everyone where you're at before we have to end the show.
So my brick and mortar office practice is in Port St. Lucie, Florida, of course.
Of course.
In Tradition.
In
Tradition.
Behind the McDonald's.
Behind the McDonald's where you should not be eating. Yes. So you can find us right at our location. If you have any questions, comments, or anything, you can text us or give us a call at this number, 772-345-0060, and I can text back with other answers. And
awesome.
If you have, once again, any questions, just give us a call.
Yeah, Dr. Ravi is amazing. His staff is amazing. Beautiful practice. And also I want to mention, I'm still honoring my Detox Day wellness packages. So you get 2 hours of relaxation and detoxification for only $99. You get the infrared sauna session. You get a full hour massage with our 26-year experienced massage therapist. And then you get an ion foot cleanse. So it's 2 hours of from real healing, detoxification, and pampering, all in our wellness side. Nice Zen-like day. So definitely check that out. Great gift certificate for yourself or for anyone you love. And I think everyone needs a little pampering right now.
Yes, a day of rest. Yep.
All right. Awesome. Well, Dr. Ravi, it's always a pleasure. And Cliff, It's always a pleasure, but I'm trying to think. I have a couple more announcements. Okay.
I think
so,
you got enough time, yes.
Good. I have enough time. So, I can calm down. So Garden of Life is a company that I do feature at my store. It's always 20% off. They just came out with natural versions of NyQuil and DayQuil. So we were talking about sleep, so I definitely want to mention it. So it's like elderberry sleep and like a daytime immune. So before you grab something in the drugstore that has artificial colors and sweeteners and toxic ingredients, give this a try. If it doesn't work out for you, you can bring it back to me. I support everything I sell. So try natural always first. Elderberry's great for the immune system, and the sleep product is just nice and natural.
Wow.
Thank you, guys.
You did it.
I did it. Woo!
Another Dr. Ravi week on Joanne's World of Nutrition, heard every Thursday morning in the 10 o'clock hour with archives on YouTube. This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.